Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to welcome everyone to our first webinar of the year. It's January 6th. Thanks for jumping on to everyone who's made it to the live webinar or Zoom call. And if you're watching the recording, then I'm glad you're watching as well. So we have a lot of new coaches on the team, so I just wanted to get in the habit of jumping on these calls together and really setting the ground as what our team is about. And each week we'll have a different topic that we'll be focusing on. So this week I really want to focus on setting a schedule. Before we get into that though, I wanted to go over just a few boundaries for our team. So we kind of have, I guess, a code of ethics, you could say, just something to keep in mind as you're in the groups, and then we'll get into setting a schedule to help you be successful as a Beachbody coach and in your business and life. So first off, some of the boundaries that we have on Team Hear Me Roar is, first and foremost, is positivity. So of course, our main goal is to encourage and lift one another up in the group. If anyone has a personal problem or issue with anything, definitely message me privately, and that way we can address it and get it resolved. Other than that, everything on your social media, in our team group, anything to do with Beachbody, just hold yourself to a really high standard and make sure it's positive. For some people, joining Beachbody, you'll notice right away that we have a very positive culture. And for some people, that mindset comes really natural, and for other people, it doesn't. You might have to, if you find yourself having more negative thoughts or getting frustrated more easily, especially the more you dig deep and dive into your personal growth and learning how to run a business, then I would highly suggest doing more personal development than, say, the average coach, and just really digging in and making that your first vital behavior. The second boundary that we have on our team is relevance. So we always want to be asking ourselves, whenever we're working, is this relevant to move my business forward? Is what I'm doing right now actually relevant to my goals, or am I just wasting time? Am I not, spending my time to build my business and reach my goals? And so that could be, like, for example, like, you can ask yourself that throughout the day, especially when you're focused on your concentrated hours, and we'll talk more about that schedule, but just always make sure that you're doing something relevant. So for example, you shouldn't be spending like all day in groups. If you find that you're spending a lot of time on Facebook, especially in challenge groups or even training groups, then you're spending too much, then that's not relevant. That's not going to move your business forward. And what is going to is, of course, the 3 vital behaviors. And in our team group, in Team Hear Me Roar, we do have in the file section an Evernote training, which is your coach handbook. And that will tell you in more detail how to use the 3 vital behaviors and what exactly you should be doing every single day to move your business forward. And then, so we have positivity, relevance, and the other thing that I wanted to get into that we'll cover is how to see success with this business. And there's only 2 steps to that formula, so we'll get into that. But I'm really excited for everyone who's joining the team. We're going to have a lot, our team is going to really grow this year. If you don't know anything about me, or if I'm not your personally sponsored coach, this is my 3rd year in the business. I'm a diamond coach, and this year, usually your 3rd year as a coach is really when you start to see the most growth. It is when you start to see the most growth. And on, make sure to mute yourself. I think I muted everyone. So welcome to the call. But yeah, your 3rd year is usually when you start to see the most growth. And keep in mind that the people that you recruit and bring into this business during your first and second year, you most likely won't have with you on the team entering your third, fourth, and fifth year. They just fall off. You outgrow them. You want different things. You end up attracting different types of people. So a lot of the people that I first signed up on my team that helped me get to Diamond originally, or close to Diamond, are no longer here. And that's just how it is. So you have to be used to that. And yeah, so this is my third year. I'm a Success Club All-Star, which means that I have hit Success Club every single month in the last 12 months. And I do that by doing the 3 vital behaviors every day. And what that does is you're eligible for, it should definitely be on your goal board if it's not already, because you'll be eligible for the Success Club trips, which if you didn't watch the Surge, they announced it's going to be in the Dominican Republic. So that'll be 2017. So if you want to go on an all inclusive free vacation, then you should make it a non-negotiable to hit Success Club every single month. Like I said, no exceptions. And Success Club is designed to move your business forward. So a lot of people don't understand or don't have a Success Club mentality, but we really need to make it, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hide your face. On our team, we need to make it, sorry, you can unmute your video if you need to, Brianna. But we really need to make it a Success Club culture. So like as we're growing and as we're bringing more people on, we need to make sure that our new coaches know just how important Success Club is. Ultimately, what it means is that you're helping change people's lives. And Success Club comes from getting started on a challenge pack, right? So you get 2 points for helping someone get started on a challenge pack. You get 1 point if you help get someone started on just Shakeology Home Direct, which is the automatic shipment. So yeah, a lot of fun things. If you hit Success Club in your first 3 months as a coach, you can win a free trip to Nashville. It is sold out right now. However, if you are in your first 3 months as a coach and you do hit Success Club consecutively during those 3 months, you will be invited off of the wait list and be able to go for free in Nashville. So let's go ahead and jump into the nitty-gritty of everything and talk about setting up a schedule. So I was talking to someone from corporate last week, and it was interesting enough because what she taught me, I was talking to Rachel from corporate, is that even top coaches should only be spending 4 to 6 hours a day on their business. And most of you that are listening in are still working full time, and so Beachbody is your part-time job, or you're working it when you're not at your day job. And so even if you think about it, like even in corporate America, 4 to 6 hours a day is not a lot compared to what most of us are used to. So if you find yourself working more than that once you go full time, or even now, you need to find another hobby. You need to find another hobby and do something else with your time, because you don't need to be spending that much time with Beachbody. You'll get burnt out, even with the top coaches who are full time. So it doesn't take a lot of time. I recommend, and this is what I did when I was a brand new coach, is setting up a schedule. So from the personal development that I've been doing around like success and sticking to a schedule, if you are always available at any time during the day, you're actually like cheap. That's really what it means. Like, you are more valuable as a person the less available that you make yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be reacting to things as they come up. Facebook notifications, calls, texts, people wanting to hang out. Like, that was a huge thing for me, was my peer group, and saying no to like going out and making those sacrifices. And what I recommend doing is setting up a schedule on going to Acuity.com, and I'll post that in the team group, but going to Acuity.com and setting up your scheduled business hours. And then what you can do is you can share, schedule it for the week or the month. And I know people's schedules may change, but what I recommend is sharing that with your friends and family so they can see what hours you are available, and just let people know that, hey, unless, there's an emergency or someone breaks their leg, like I cannot be reached during these hours because that's when I'm working. People will take you more seriously when you take those times that you schedule to work your business serious. And when you have enough passion and you're connected with your why enough, self-discipline and being consistent happens automatically. So it's easy for me to wake up and pop my laptop and, do my personal development and then get right to work. Even, when I had a full-time job, I would lock myself in my bedroom in the morning and at night during my scheduled business hours, and I would work. And the reason that is because I was very clear, and my why is a lot different today than it was then. It's evolved. When I first started Beachbody, I didn't know that I wanted to do it full time. And then it evolved into like realizing that it had a lot to offer, like what I wanted in my life. And it met a lot of like the life goals that I had for myself. So it evolved into something more. And so now I have my why written down, handwritten on a sticky note that I actually just taped to my laptop, right under the keyboard next to my like little mouse pad so that I see it every single day. And that makes doing my power hour and being committed to my scheduled business hours very easy for me. So one thing to keep in mind is you should always be in, this is a total side note, you should always be in some type of group that's not a challenge group, and that's not like our team group like Set Your Soul on Fire or Team Hear Me Roar. If you're not in some type of training group, then you need to get your ass in one, because you need to be growing and you need to be setting goals, right? So I posted something earlier on Facebook today, and I'm not going to bring it up right now to look at, but it was the different gaps of growth that people can have. And so I really loved this because I immediately recognized some things that I see in certain people, and even ones that I used to fall victim to. And I think it's really helpful to be aware of where you could have gaps in growth, so you know not to fall victim to that, and so you can have a plan of action to be more intentional about your personal growth plan. That way you're going somewhere and life's not just happening to you, and you're not accidentally growing. And what that means, what accidentally growing means, is that you do life like most people. You float through life, going through experiences, making mistakes and learning from them, sometimes becoming better and sometimes being worse off than when you started. And that was how I knew life. That was how I did life before Beachbody. And regardless of this company or not, successful people don't do that. They often learn before they make mistakes, and they're very intentional. And I keep saying that they're very intentional about about how they're growing, and they have like a set plan. So that being said, read through that. I posted that in our team group, and I actually made a video about that. So watch that video if you haven't yet, and identify which one you might categorize yourself in. That way you can be aware. The best, the number one quality that I think people should have is be open and objective with themselves. And I've always considered myself good at this, because I've had jobs where like they taught us how to take criticism, and I wasn't always good at taking it. I don't think we're naturally good at like being critiqued, but it's very good to have self-awareness. So like, for example, when I used to have a corporate job and we'd have like one-on-ones and like meetings kind of like we're having right now, I always knew what they were going to talk to me about, and I always knew what my weaknesses were and what areas I was not doing as well in, or that I was slacking off in, before they even spoke to me about it. Because I'm not going to bullshit, I'm not going to make up excuses. So like if someone critiques you, like I remember I used to get defensive and be like, and make up an excuse. And it, a lot of the times was legitimate, like so-and-so didn't teach me that, or no one taught me how to do it the right way, or I just don't know how to do that, or I don't know where to find that, or I'm just not that good at that naturally. And so I want you to kind of like take that and just remove it from your life. And so that's another one of our team boundaries, is to be aware of inhibitors. And so different inhibitors are mindsets like that. So if, like, for example, if you're in the middle of the month and basically if you're not hitting Success Club, I think I said this already, if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not working hard enough and you're not going to get my time. And it took me a really long time to understand why my coach did that with me. And I took it personal for a long time. I watched her give her time to other people and wonder why I wasn't getting treated that way. And I took it personal. And what I started to realize was she was giving her time and she was trusting people more who were rank advancing and who were doing the 3 vital behaviors every day, showing effort, showing up to team calls, participating in the team group, participating in training, and ultimately people that were being consistent and getting results. And like I said, I didn't think that was fair at first, because I was like, well, you're my coach, you're supposed to help me. But I'm so glad that she did that, because she made me earn her time. And now, like, I have earned that, and I can talk to her, and I can have, I can be on the diamond calls and like have that interaction with other leaders on the team, but you have to earn that. And it really comes down to, this is a business. So as much as like we all are a tight-knit family and friends and stuff, you have to know how to separate the two. And you have to know when you're having a business related conversation and when it's just like, hey girl, like what's up conversation. You have to know the difference between that. And I'm only going to do things with you guys so that you can duplicate it and do it with your new coaches. And trust me, like, you can try to do things differently with your new coaches if you want, because you think it might work better. But I want to tell you right now, it's not going to. The whole approach of like making people earn your time might seem stupid, and you might not even feel qualified enough to do that to other people. But trust me, people will respect you and people will start showing up and producing results if you set that standard right off the bat. So avoid pouring everything into someone if they're not willing to meet you halfway, or meet the efforts that you're giving to them, because you'll find that you'll think that you signed up a rock star, and I promise you that you haven't, because you'll pour everything into them and you'll teach them how to do everything, and you'll do calls and you show them how to do all of it and tell them everything you learn and give them all the YouTube videos, and they won't do a thing, and you're going to feel frustrated. So just push someone in the right direction. We have systems in line in the file sections for getting someone started right. But that's enough about that. So as far as, that whole point that I was saying is, you need to be able to like self-evaluate yourself and not give excuses. So if you're struggling with hitting Success Club and it's almost the end of the month and you haven't helped 3 people yet, first off, make sure that you have an abundant mindset. And this is another boundary that we have as a team, is when you do sell a challenge pack, don't be like, oh my gosh, I still have 3 points to go. Like I'm not, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Don't do that. You need to focus on what you want more of. So love that challenger, celebrate it, and then get back to work, because the more you focus on what you already do have, you'll just create more of it. And you'll be in a better mindset to tackle those problems or challenges as they arrive, because you'll be more positive, and it works. It's kind of wacky, but it really does work. And so you need to be able to like self-evaluate yourself. So I've had my ass handed to a lot of times with this whole self-evaluate thing. Like if someone talks to you and you're like wondering, basically if you're not hitting Success Club, you're not doing one or more of the three vital behaviors, you're not doing enough of. So the answers are always there, you guys. It's usually, what it usually is it's usually personal development, and I'll tell you that right now. So it's usually people like getting in their own way, not being objective enough, and you probably weren't working smart enough, because busy doesn't always mean you're being productive. So you probably weren't concentrated doing your power hour. You have to really ask yourself, did I do everything that I could to be successful today? Like, did I do my best? Was I concentrated during my scheduled working hours? Or did I let myself get distracted? Did I let distractions come up? Did I respond and react to the world? Or did I shut off and eliminate distractions and things that inhibit my growth and get shit done, or not? And so if you can just realize that, like, no one just sucks at this. Like, no one just, like, anyone can be successful at this. And trust me, like, I had to teach myself all of these things that I know how to do. And I still have so far to go, but no one's like naturally just like super good at like running their own business, in Beachbody. Like, no one just right off the bat, like, gets it. Like, you always have new things to learn. So know that it's always you. You know, like if you do the right things every single day, you'll be successful, bottom line. And that should make you happy and feel empowered to know that you are always in control and you are responsible for your success. And it's nothing else. It's never any external things. It's always you. So to the success formula that I mentioned earlier, the formula to being successful in Team Beachbody, there's 2 steps. The first step is to listen to the advice that your coach gives you and be open to it. And the second one is do the things that your coach tells you. And that's literally it. That's how you be successful as a coach. So back to setting up a schedule. Your brain functions, I'm going to touch on this because I know people struggle with it. Your brain functions much better in the morning. And so some of you might be hearing that and like know it, but needed to actually hear it so that you make yourself do it. So studies have shown that we get more done and we are naturally more focused in morning hours. So I've started waking up an hour earlier than I normally do. And there's a few different steps and some resources you can read to become more of a morning person. But they say that the same activity that would take you 2 hours to do in the evening would only take you about 40 minutes to get it done in the morning. So you can see why it would be much better to wake up an hour early before you go into work rather than waiting until the end of the night, because you can have that set focus time. So there's 5 different steps to becoming more of a morning person. And the first one I want to talk about is your your affirmations. So if the last thought that you have before you go to bed is, oh my gosh, I'm only getting 6 hours of sleep tonight, like I need to get into bed, and I'm going to be so exhausted when I wake up in the morning, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already 7 a.m. I'm so exhausted. I need more sleep. And on the contrary, if you say, if you say something positive, like I'm so excited to wake up and do my personal development tomorrow, or I'm so excited to wake up and do my workout, because those are things I genuinely look forward to. Because when I'm growing, and I'm growing fast, and that's because I'm intentional about it, and I have an exact personal growth plan, and you all can too. I feel awesome. When I don't feel awesome, my business shows that. And so I look forward to those things because I know they make me feel better. And a lot of you are already on your fitness journey, so I don't need to preach to the choir. But so the first thing is positive affirmations when you go to sleep. They will they will spill over into how you feel when you wake up in the morning. And then the second one is the snooze button. So most of us, and most of America is, or the world rather, is very used to like hitting the snooze button right when they wake up. And so what that does is that basically says that it already sets your brain and your mind up for procrastinating. And the thing about procrastinating is the more that you do it, the more you are sending, like literally sending signals to your brain saying that that type of behavior is okay. So that's why people get stuck in this mindset of identifying themselves as a procrastinator. And like one of the first things you can do, and I think everyone says that because I've noticed almost everyone considers themselves one. So the first thing that you can do is just stop saying that about yourself. Just stop saying that. And it really gives you more control. And so one of the things that I do when I wake up, and I got this from a different book, I think it's from the 15 valuable laws of growth, the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And so what I say when I wake up is, do it now, 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 like over and over and over again. That's what I say in my head. And that automatically puts me in a state of like a sense of urgency. So you can try doing that. And the thing with the snooze button is if you're dreading waking up, when you're hitting snooze, you're basically saying you want to go through that all over again and have to wake up again. So you're recreating the same, oh my gosh, it's, I can't believe it's only blah, blah, blah. And you're hitting snooze and then you're doing it again and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. So your body is actually, when you wake up, you're not as tired like once you actually wake up. So the first thing that you should do is make sure that your phone, that you get up to turn your alarm off. So set your alarm or put your phone not next to your head or your nightstand. Put it across the room so that you're forced to wake up, to walk and go turn it off. And then the next thing that you should immediately do is you should go brush your teeth. Brush your teeth and then drink about a liter of water. Because most of the time in the morning, we haven't had any water for like 6 or 8 hours. And so more than anything, we're dehydrated, not tired. And throughout the day, when you're feeling tired, it's more of you actually being dehydrated rather than tired. So drink a liter of water. Like seriously, guys, try this. Like I'm telling you, and this isn't even that hard. So drink a liter of water. And then right after that, immediately get dressed or take a shower or go work out. And so what I do is I work out in the morning is I usually go to bed with like a sports bra on or shorts or underwear or whatever. So I already have my workout clothes on. And so I'm ready to like do that. And that's how I start my day. And then I do my personal development. And then I do my power hour. So that's basically the gist of like how to set a schedule. And if you haven't looked in the file section of the Into Action 3 Vitals group, there's the Lauren Majeski Power Hour or the 5332 Power Hour that you can do. Both are effective. Just pick which one that you like more, and you can even go back and forth between the two if you get bored of doing the same thing. But doing the Power Hour, putting the personal development as your first vital behavior, and making people earn your time, taking your time and your business hours more seriously, and being able to self-assess yourself is going to make you more successful. It's going to make you see success in this business. And I also wanted to say that some people, like going back to the accidental growth, some people are just like are going to be like, yeah, I'll hit emerald by summer. Like I had someone say that their goal was to hit emerald by summer. And if you don't put like deadlines on your goals, they're not going to happen. And I used to be the kind of person that was afraid to do that because I didn't want to fail. And ultimately I didn't want to fail and disappoint anyone if I didn't reach that. But one thing that I've learned in the last 6 months is the whole point of setting goals and setting a deadline isn't necessarily to hit that on that day. It's to get as close as you can to that goal. And if you give yourself a deadline, you're going to do it a lot quicker than if you were to just like go after it and say, I'm going to be diamond, and not put an exact date on it. You know, so it should be like, I will be diamond by March 25th. No excuses. This is what I'm going to do every single day. I'm going to be behavior focused and not results focused, because I know that being result focused, just like on your fitness journey, is like chasing butterflies. You know, if you want to be successful and that's your goal, that's like chasing butterflies. You're not going to get anywhere. So you really need to fall in love and stay committed to the daily behaviors, and that be the thing that you make a non-negotiable. So for me this year in 2016, my non-negotiable is a power hour, a concentrated power hour every single day, regardless. I won't go to bed until I get it done. And then, of course, being more intentional with my personal growth, because if you've done the Darren Hardy Design Your Best Life, then you know that, and I don't want to, like, this is kind of a spoiler alert if you haven't done it yet, but this was so cool to me when I sat down and designed my best year. It took you into like, what didn't you achieve that you wanted to, what do you want to achieve, what are your like top goals for 2016 and whatnot. And then it turned into like a gratitude thing. And the whole objective was, hey, and you'll see this across every like personal development speaker or, influencer, author, whatever, is if you want more of anything, you got to start being more appreciative of what you do have in those areas. So anytime I get a new coach, I focus on that. Like, in my head, I focus on that. I'm happy about that. I celebrate that. I don't look at how many more coaches I need to meet my goal right away. That's not where my head goes. I don't focus on lack. I focus on what I do have. And when you focus on abundance, you will be given more, and you'll be given the bigger things if you appreciate and celebrate the small victories along the way. So, and then the next thing that I love so much about the Design Your Best Year is it's about, so it tells you like, hey, like what are your top goals? What are your goals? And then it goes, now who do you have to become to reach that goal? Like, who do you need to be? And this last year, I didn't look at that. And I related and resonated so much with the whole like chasing butterflies thing, because I was so focused on goals and not the kind of person I had to be to reach that goal. So if you focus on who you need to become, like it just like gives me tingles thinking about that, because you can always improve your character. You can always improve who you are. And that will lead you to any goal that you want. And that's so awesome. And we are lucky enough to be a part of a company that puts that at the forefront of becoming who we want to be. And we get to decide that. They don't do it for us. And that's so different than anything I've ever been a part of. So I'm just really grateful that all of you took time out of your night to jump on here and to trust yourself enough to go on this self-discovery path. I know it won't always be comfortable. And sometimes, as someone who wants more out of their life, you're going to have to do things even when you don't feel like it and when you don't feel inspired. But you'll learn, and that behavior and that dedication will sharpen you as a human being. And you won't regret it. I promise you. It will never be wasted. So thank you for all being a part of wanting to make other people's lives better, and just really adding more abundance to your communities and the friends you have yet to meet. So I hope you all take this as a call of action and get into setting up a schedule, taking yourself more seriously, and having fun. Because if you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong. And I also measure my success by how much fun I'm having. So I hope on that note that you can do the same thing. And if anyone has any questions, please post it in the group. But I will see you. Hopefully I will see everyone tomorrow on the Set Your Soul on Fire webinar. One of our new diamond leaders is going to be hosting it, and she is an amazing soul. Like, will be considered your personal development for tomorrow. So be sure to jump on the Team Set Your Soul on Fire webinar. I'll post the link. The link's always posted in SYSOF, but it's at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. So don't miss it. And I will talk to you guys later. All right, have a good night.